I look the exact same as I do every week, maybe a little larger.
What?
I'm wearing my hella dramatic sweater. My
I love
hair's
that you're
scraggly.
talking me through what you're wearing. You're like a 1985 sex phone operator.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm wearing 3-day-old sweats that I have
Mm-hmm.
perspired in
Mm-hmm.
for the past 72 hours while
Does that. He works out and then squeezes the sweat into bottles and sells it.
ew,
You know,
people
good for
buy
her. Get your bread, sis.
mm, bread. Love bread.
Don't
What?
talk about food.
Okay, sorry.
I have a problem.
Crystal, did it work?
The kitty cat 6897 said it
Said it
worked for
worked.
me.
Crystal
Oh,
just did it. I want to see it worked. Come on, fingers crossed.
what worked?
We have a new website.
All my lights work.
Oh,
It comes down to this
okay.
moment.
Go take the bowl out of her cage, please.
Oh, it worked for 3 people. All right.
Okay. Sylvia Brown, it worked for me.
Love Sylvia Brown. What's everybody doing? Where are you seeing
We'll
this?
talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right. So, welcome to Take It or Leave It. I am one of your hosts who has half of the show brain. My name is Meredith Masony.
And I'm Tiffany Jenkins. This podcast will discuss all things. No. This podcast will discuss all things marriage, motherhood, and everything in between. Please remember, we're not friggin' experts at anything you may actually need. So any advice we give you, you could take.
Or leave because it might be crap. On today's episode of Take It or Leave It, we are catching up post holiday to see how everybody is doing, to check in on. I have some questions because we've chatted a teensy bit this week, but I wanted to know how the vaping was going.
Oh, good. The vaping is going great. I'm really proud of myself. And I thought this week was going to be hard because I have no kids here. I have nobody here to be accountable to.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was right. It was hard. So I went and basically on day 3, I ran out of vape. And I was like, you know what? Because I was doing it every hour. Did I tell you all of this?
Yeah, you had like a schedule of when you could take a puff, and if you missed it, you couldn't have a puff.
Yeah, going amazing. And then on day 3, I ran out of the vape and I'm like, I'm just done. I'll just be done today instead of following the plan.
Right, the plan.
And then, so I didn't vape for 2 whole days. I vaped nothing. But then on day 3, I'm like, no, this is stupid. This wasn't the original plan. I was supposed to have 2 puffs every hour. So I went and I bought myself a vape to puff every hour 2 times. And then nobody was here to time it. So I started fucking up and just vaping whenever I wanted. And then my boyfriend came over later that evening and I sauntered up to him and hung my head and handed him the vape. And I said, I did something bad today and I can't control myself. Take this from me. So
I love that you were self-aware enough to realize what you were doing and take accountability.
Thank you. Yeah. And so he reluctantly took it. He got an extra vape out of the deal and I got humbled. My addiction is just as powerful today as it was 12 years ago. I can't control myself. I have no willpower, no self-control. So that's good to know for other things that I might possibly think I might be able to control from time to time. If my brain ever tells me drugs are an option, I'll just remember this. I can't control it. If you give me an inch, I'll take a mile. So I'm doing good. Other than that one slip up, I've been doing great.
Now I have a question. Does your boyfriend vape?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's got to be tough if you're watching him do it.
No, because he's not doing it around me anymore.
Okay.
He doesn't do it. He hides it out of respect, which is so sweet. But hopefully, eventually, this will make him want to vape too.
Make him want to quit?
That's what I meant. Sorry, I just woke up, dude. I overslept today so bad because I was up all night eating snacks. Sorry, that was some right
That's
there.
okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, no, we were pressed for time this morning as well. We got up and he was taking her to the bus stop, and I did not get my good morning routine in gear. So I didn't take my medicine. I didn't do any of my things. And we were
Mm.
late, of course, but that's just par for the course at this point.
Are you trying to do a new little New Year's get your shit together routine in the morning?
No, every morning I do the same thing. I get up, I feed the dogs, I take my medication, I mix my water drink, I get my coffee going, I load the dishwasher, I start a load of laundry. Like I have a checklist, and it's my comfort in the morning. Makes me feel better when I do it.
Okay.
And if I don't do it, then I get really sideways because I'm like, I didn't do any of the things that I was supposed to do, and now I'm
Right.
behind. But yeah, I overslept too because we stayed up too late last night. I stayed up too late last night watching TV. Oh, you know what I was watching?
I was just gonna ask.
Unreal.
Tell me everything. Tell me everything, bitch. Oh my gosh.
I guess I'm 5 or 6 episodes in on season
Really?
1. How many seasons are there?
I don't know, but I'm on season 3.
Okay. So I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in. I got to be honest. At first, I was watching it and I was like, I'm not going to like this
Hmm.
because it's about a reality show and it's not a reality show.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm watching it. I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of slow. And then the first scene happens where, first of all, I'm offended.
Bitch, no, you know damn well.
You are trying to say that I am just like the main head producer?
Quinn.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
She's
Yeah.
a terrible person.
Well, that is true. That part of it, I don't know if you're into it or if you're planning on continuing to watch it, but if you do, the more the seasons go on, the more she is just a friggin' pit bull, dude.
Yeah,
And
no, I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm hooked. I was gonna tell you, like, there's a scene, and I guess there's no point in saying I don't want to ruin it for people because it's an old show, right?
I don't know how old it is, but
Let me look real quick because they mentioned the Obama administration, so I'm feeling like it has to be pretty old. Hold on, just so I don't be the asshole that 2015. If you've not seen it yet,
yeah, you're
sorry.
good. You were going to
But
say screw you, which
I
is
was gonna
extra
say
rude.
screw you, but that's extra. That's Quinn coming out. But there's a scene literally in the first probably 5 minutes of the first episode where Quinn, the main head production person, her boss comes in and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know he was here." And then they walk into the office and you see her. They flash back to her, and he's banging her from behind at the desk. And I'm like, "What is happening?"
Yeah,
You've
no.
caught my attention.
Not that part. That part doesn't remind me. She's such a badass businesswoman. And you'll see as seasons go on, her and oh my
Rachel?
god. Yes.
Yeah.
Compete. Like she urges Rachel to be the shittiest person she could be and her
Yeah.
morals, whatever. We'll talk about it. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're watching it.
Point is, I was like, let me try this. I don't think I'm gonna like it, but and then I was like, oh no, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's good. It's written well. It really does give you sort of like this peek behind the curtain of like what it's probably like on these reality shows. And
Mhm.
and after everything that I've read about Love is Blind and all of these like Netflix dating reality shows, I mean, there's been multiple lawsuits already about how they just give them tons of alcohol, not nearly enough food. They lock them down in these rooms. They don't have access to the outside world, and just the shit that goes down. You're like, yeah,
Mhm.
that's real.
Yeah.
They do that. For sure. They do that to people. Like they definitely take you probably on these reality shows like right to the edge. And then they're like, let's see if she jumps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's all the show is about all throughout the show. It's so good. I love it.
Mm.
I'm not watching anything right now other than a lot of police interrogations.
You 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 getting ready? You warming up for
Uh,
something?
yeah, I feel like I'd be so good. As soon as I go in next time, I'm going to be like, get me a lawyer.
Next time.
I'm not saying shit.
I love how you preface with it. Next time I'm arrested,
Yep,
I'm going to be ready for that interrogation test.
for sure. For sure. I always felt like I would be a jerk if I asked for a lawyer and it would make me look guilty. You know what I mean? So I'm the kind of person who believes they could manipulate the police and walk out of the station. Like that's me. I'm that person who
Mm,
thinks they can, but I
no.
can't. So I already know that now. So next time, get me a lawyer.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to talk to us? I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I would love to talk to you guys. I'm not trying to be like rude or anything. I'm just saying, like, if a lawyer's an option, I feel like that is something I should probably do. And then it's that of he's like, you know what? Shut up. I'll get you a lawyer.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want to talk about? Like, where do you want to start? Childhood, like 8th grade? Like, that was rough
Yeah.
for me. Like, what do you
Yeah.
think?
I've got a lot of stuff going on right now currently. If you have a minute,
Yeah.
like, I would love
I
it.
need some relationship advice, actually. If
Could you imagine if you
I,
just start trauma dumping on
yeah.
the homicide investigator?
Oh my God, you've murdered someone?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know it was that serious.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, I got my fantasies mixed up. This is a different one. This one, I'm
Okay.
just being interviewed for petty theft.
Petty theft. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Because I mean, you went right there. Like you took a hard left.
I know. I'm sorry. It got dark.
Did. It got dark fast.
It's a new year, new me. Murder is on the table. I'm just kidding. They're going to use this clip on my Dateline episode when I actually do kill somebody. I'm not really going to kill anybody, guys. Chill.
Okay. Now that we have that cleared up.
Yeah, let's change the subject.
So yeah. So anyway, so I think last time we talked, we were chatting a little bit about the holidays. We talked about vaping. We talked about how I was not doing resolutions at all. I still am firm with that. I'm not resolving um, anything per se in 2025 to be like, this is what I'm going to conquer this year.
Okay.
I will lightly touch on because it came up on a live and people have been asking because everybody knows that I do dry January. And I've done this for several years in a row. But I did decide this year that, so I guess this is a resolution, but I'm not considering it one, if that makes sense.
It doesn't, but you stand your ground, Queen.
Um, but it's not just going to be a dry January. I'm done with alcohol.
You're making us okay
So
for
I'm
the
saying it's
forced.
not a resolution because it has nothing to do with like, I don't know, maybe I'm just completely wrong, but um
No, it's whatever you want it to be.
yeah, but I just decided, and this is something that I've thought about and considered, and I've gone months without having a sip of alcohol, time and time again. Like I've toyed with the idea, but since going through so much therapy this year and realizing that there is I do absolutely have a tendency to use it as a crutch at times when I don't want to feel something.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that that is definitely an unhealthy relationship with it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to take that relationship any further.
Mm.
So it was something that I've thought about time and again, but I think just because I have been becoming, I believe, more self-aware, and now I know when I'm getting ready to numb, I have to do it in a much healthier way. And I'm not saying, because somebody in the live yesterday was like, so you're an alcoholic. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm an alcoholic. I think I'm choosing to stop drinking because I've realized that I have some unhealthy tendencies There's absolutely nothing wrong with being an alcoholic and saying I'm stopping the drink because I'm an alcoholic. There was no like major thing that recently happened. There was no like none of that. But because of the amount of therapy that I've gone through recently, I think luckily I'm starting to see these things and I'm
Yeah.
saying, okay, that's not healthy. I don't want to do that. So, I have been dabbling in mocktails,
Meth.
not meth. Nope. No, not meth. I
Okay.
love that the first M word you went to was meth.
Um.
Do you have
Okay.
do you have thoughts on that?
I do.
Okay.
Well, I have lots of thoughts. I am happy for you. I'm proud of you. I think it's important to admit, like, hey, I might have an issue with this thing.
Mhm.
I think it's even more important to do something about it. And that's what you're doing, and that's incredible. Um, as far as what you want to title it whatever the fuck you want to title it. Um, I think it's great that you're doing it. And I don't think you need to establish, hey, I'm an alcoholic, because then it becomes this thing where people, I don't know how to explain it. I'm still processing through all of this. But like I said, you specifically, in my opinion, I don't think you need a title. I think if you want to quit drinking, quit fucking drinking. If you notice that it's becoming a problem and you're using it for something else, the problem isn't necessarily the alcohol. It's that's a byproduct of what is going on with you. But more importantly, you have a tendency to try to numb and disassociate and
Right.
shut off, just like myself. And if alcohol is what you happen to be grabbing for at the moment to do that, then pivot
Right.
and reach for something better. Like, I don't crochet equipment or something. You know what I mean? For me, drinking, once I started, I couldn't stop. I wouldn't be done until I was naked in the yard and somebody was dragging me inside by my ankle and like saying, I'm never fucking drinking with you again. You're a goddamn nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know that it's gotten there with you, but I think it's great that you're noticing it before anything crazy happens and that you're taking accountability. I think that's huge.
Yeah, I think it's more about me just realizing the things that I was self-medicating with because there were tons of them and not all of them are bad.
Right.
So, like I love to disassociate with some hardcore cleaning.
Mm,
And my therapist is like, "That's a gold star. You can do that."
yeah.
She's like, "You can do that because it's not in any way, shape, or form going to lead to anything harmful. Maybe some calluses, which I do have. I have a vacuum callus on my thumb."
Let me ask you a question. She said
Mhm.
it's not going to lead to anything harmful. What if you're doing that in place of doing things that you're supposed to do? Like, what if
Mm,
you're ignoring all of your responsibilities just to
sure.
power clean?
That could be. Yeah, that could be. So I guess
Okay.
it's place and time.
Okay. So you're able to still accomplish other shit while power cleaning. Cause I'm trying to think of myself, like, how can I be a person that power cleans when they want to disassociate? But I started thinking about, could I see myself doing that? And the answer is yes, but I would have to hyper fixate on it and not do anything else and be obsessive about it to the point where my kids are like, Mommy, we're hungry. And I'm like a gremlin hunched over in like an abandoned closet that we haven't
Right.
used in years, like unpacking it. And I'm like, feed, grab a Lunchable. I'm busy.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely probably get to that place at times when I'm doing it. I know for a fact that do you remember when we first launched the Laundry Lady and I was texting you and you're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm steam cleaning every grout line in my house."
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
So I had other things I should have been doing, but I needed to calm the fuck down. So I cleaned with a toothbrush every grout line in the home because I didn't know what else to do. On my hands and knees, I had bruises and cuts, but I needed it. I needed to disassociate. So
No, that's too that's a little intense.
that's probably would have been a no-go for my therapist. She would have
Yeah.
been like, "Mm-mm." So I definitely have to find some balance.
bruises and cuts, Meredith.
I mean, I was crawling around on the tile. I just couldn't help myself. I was like, let me get in that nook and cranny. I was breaking toothbrushes left and right.
That is something. Question, and we can have Phil cut this if you want. Um, dude, what about if you made a list, like a easy, comprehensive list of how to clean for idiots like me who don't know how to clean? Like, I didn't even know what steam clean a grout line meant just now when you said it. It sounded like you were speaking a different language to me. And I was like, is that something I'm supposed to be doing? And then I got nervous because my grout lines have never been steam cleaned. I don't even know what a grout line is, to be honest with you.
I don't think you have grout lines
Okay, perfect.
because I don't think you have tile floors, right?
Love it. No,
Yeah.
no, I don't. I don't. All right, good.
Yeah, so you're okay. Can you move Tiffany back on my screen? I'm not sure what happened. There we
You
go.
missed my
Thank you.
face.
I do. Yeah, so I think so
I think that would
somebody
be
in
cool.
here, Trisha, one of our live audience members on the podcast, has been sober from drugs and alcohol since December 1st, 2018.
Yay,
Congrats.
Trisha. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, so obviously, and I did ask this because I asked, because my therapist has been hounding me. I shouldn't say that. She doesn't hound. She's so sweet. But she's been talking, huh? What?
It's like saying a Canadian.
I know. She's so polite. She's so sweet. I don't think she's Canadian, but we can ask. Um, but she was talking, like, she keeps bringing up hobbies to me because she's like, you really need one. And I'm like, don't believe in them. And so,
Hmm.
but she kept asking me, like, what are you passionate about? What do you, and I just started talking about my laundry detergent and like cleaning and how I love, like, how I want to bring out all of these new products and these new product lines and why I love cleaning so much. And I'm pretty sure I've said it on the podcast before, but I love the idea that you can take anything that's dirty and make it clean. And that's where it stems from for me personally. And so I love that it's nothing is ever so dirty it can't be cleaned again. Nothing. We can always restore and repair. And there's something that's just, I think it's just to my core in me that I want to bring that to your home. Like, I want you to be able to make, your laundry clean, your kitchen floors clean, your countertops clean, your dishes clean. Like, I want to be able to provide that. Like, as a solution
That's
in
wild that
in an
that's your
eco-friendly way. But obviously I didn't make that connection until I was in therapy. Like, I didn't really get my fixation with cleaning, but it's all about the idea that there's nothing that's so far gone or too dirty that we can't make it clean.
I love it. That's a great tagline for your reaching umbrella company, the cleaning lady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, so that was something that I wanted to touch on, but I honestly don't want to like spend time on it. I'm not going to start saying like things like talking about my sobriety, like none of that. Like, I'm not
Oh
doing
yeah,
that.
we got off track. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying I'm not doing that because I also like, that's not, it's literally just I'm taking this out of my life because I don't believe that it's a positive habit. So it's out, and I am moving on with making sure that I am self-aware enough to make good decisions and healthy decisions, and um that's it. So you're not going to come to my page, like, it's not like, I just didn't want you to think that it was like something that it isn't, in terms of, because somebody was like, well, are you going to start talking about it like Tiffany talks about her sobriety? And I'm like, no, these are not, I don't believe these are the same thing at all.
Gotcha.
To me, what like, they're different, the journeys are different, and I obviously, like, it's been 10 days since I haven't
That's
had a sip of
amazing, though.
alcohol.
That's amazing.
And I have to be honest, at this moment in time, I was telling Dave, I don't miss it.
Mm.
Like I have no inkling to be like, I wish I could go take a sip of something. Like I have nothing. Like
It's
it's like
amazing.
I'm so glad and I'm just sitting here thinking like, oh my God, I'm gonna save so much money.
20 more days, we can go get you a chip.
But I was like, I was like, dear Lord, I was like, how much are we gonna save? This is insane.
I mean, how
Like,
much were you spending?
well, a bottle of wine, like I was spending probably um depending on the wine, it could have been a $30 bottle,
How
you know.
often?
Um, I mean, Dave and I would sit and drink, you know, a bottle of wine's 4 glasses, and we would sit and each have 2 glasses between dinner and sitting on the couch, right? And we'd kill a bottle, and that could have been 3 times a week
I don't think that's too bad. I would have shoved that bottle. I'm
up your
sorry.
ass, or where are you
I
going?
was literally going to say that and
Yeah.
shotgun the wine. Like that's, but then I decided not to say that.
No, but I mean, that's what I'm saying is it was just, but I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, if that was a $30 bottle, that's $90 a week. Like I was
Yeah.
just, you just don't think about it that like that when you're just grocery shopping and you throw some things in the cart and then you're just like, damn, like, or if you, which is I think so unreasonable, if you go out to eat and you have a drink or two,
Hmm.
it's 18, $20,
Right.
which is just insanity. I'll sit here and be like, no, you guys can't have soda. That's $3.99.
Yeah.
I'll have the sangria. Yes, thank you. Okay, it's
Mhm.
$12, no problem. And it's like
Right.
that's so stupid. Um, I don't know if Dave is joining me on this journey. Somebody just asked. I haven't asked him because it's really not if he wants to. Obviously,
Would it
he's
trigger
not a
you?
big drinker, so I don't know if he wants to or doesn't. But I mean, it's totally up to him. I think what caught him off guard how this whole thing started because I sort of had this completely internal discussion about it. And he said, I just signed us up for, and I had this visceral, I said, no. And he was like, what? And I was like, no, no wine club. I'm not drinking. And he's like, well, in January. And I was like, nope, I'm done. And he just looked at me and he's like, forever? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, did you want to talk about it? And I was like, no, but no wine club. And I think it offended him because wine club was our date night.
Yes.
And so then I had to stop and realize what I had just done. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I do want to continue to date you as we are married. Um, but it can't be wine club because I'm not going to, drink anymore. And then we had this conversation in therapy and we talked a little bit more about it. And he was like, okay. So, which is sad because I did love how social wine club was. You got to see all these people and chat
Mhm.
and have a good time. But um, obviously, I'm not going to join wine club and stand there and not drink with these people. That would not be a good
Right.
idea.
Right.
So I was like, we'll just have to find something else. And he was like,
Mm.
okay. But I didn't even realize that it sounded offensive when it came out of my mouth because I was telling him no to something that he wanted to do with me. But I was like, no, we just have to pick something different.
Right.
So that was, but then we really hadn't talked about it anymore. And my therapist said she was proud of me for being self aware and recognizing um, a bad habit.
Yeah, that's huge.
And so that was that. So yeah, so that was good. And then um they might have mocktails at wine club, probably, but it's a lot more wine than anything else. And probably wouldn't be a great idea for somebody who's just freshly not drinking because you'd totally be tempted, I think.
Mhm.
Somebody was just saying in the chat.
Mhm.
I had the disgust on Tiffany's face when you said something social.
What? That's funny.
Beth said the disgust I saw on Tiffany's face when you said social.
That's hilarious.
That
I
is
didn't
hilarious.
even think
Yeah.
about it.
So anyway, let me go back to last week. So I don't know if you saw this on my page or whatever, but last week, Matthias and his girlfriend needed to get back to school in Miami, and their ride fell through. Did you see this?
No.
Okay. So their ride fell through. They were stuck here. And he says to me, well, I'm just going to take my car back. And we were like, no, you're not. You're not going to take your car back because we agreed that this isn't your car right now. Your sister is getting her license next month. It's going to be her car right now. And we are going to decide in terms of a car next year, if you even get one, what it's, going to look like. I said, you need to find another ride. So this went on for like 3 days. And it was 2 days before they had to leave. And we're out to dinner. And I was like, did you confirm with so-and-so that you have a ride? And he goes, no. And I said, well, I don't understand how you think you're getting back to Miami. It's a very long walk. Like, we are not close.
Mm.
It's a 6-hour drive. So back and forth. Finally, I just look. Dave and I sat him down and we were like, look, you need to fly back. You need to fly back because we're done now wasting time trying to find a ride. It's not happening. You weren't. So he looks at me, Tiffany, and he says, listen, I've been living alone for 4 months now. I know how to solve my own problems. And I was like, oh, okay. So Dave said, go book 2 one-way tickets from Jacksonville to Miami. And I said, I think we should book the tickets. And Matthias goes, nope, I'm an adult. And Dave said, he's an adult. He's going to go book them right now. Book the first flight out Saturday morning, 2 one-way tickets, Jax to Miami. He leaves. He comes back in. I booked the tickets. Great. Saturday morning, I wake everybody up. I'm like, get your stuff in the car. I get everybody up at 6 a.m. We're in the car by 7 a.m. We're about 10 minutes out from the airport. And I go, oh my gosh, did you check in for your flight? And he goes, no. And I said, get into your email right now. Check into your flight. You need to screenshot your boarding passes. That's how they know you're coming, is that you've checked in. Please go do it right now. He goes, I didn't get an email. I said, no, that's not right. You got an email. You always get an email 24 hours ahead. I said, pull up the email where you booked the tickets. Let me see it. So he pulls it up. He hands it to me. I'm looking at it. I hand it back to him. I'm still sitting there and I'm thinking, and I go, wait, did that email say January 18th? I said, did you book a flight for January 18th and not January 4th? So he pulls it up again and he looks, and yes, in fact, he booked a plane ticket for 2 weeks from now. He had no plane ticket. She had no plane ticket. And we arrive at the Jacksonville airport with no plane tickets. The line was out the door from the American Airlines counter. At this point, my right eyeball was about to explode.
Just that one.
I thought maybe a stroke was coming. Like, I was not kidding. Like, my blood pressure skyrocketed. So I get into the airport. I have them wait in line. I get on the phone. The guy at the baggage thing says, get on the phone with the 1-800 number because this line is really long and you might not get to the front of it. I'm on the phone with American Airlines. I said, listen, I need to change this flight that they booked on the 18th for a flight today. She goes, I'm sorry, ma'am, you cannot change this flight because it was booked basic economy. It is non-transferable, non-refundable. So I said, are you telling me that I just lost $333? She said, yes. I said, awesome. Can you tell me when the next flight out is for these 2 so that I don't go to prison? And she said, absolutely, ma'am. I can get them on the 3 p.m. flight to Miami, first class, It will be $1,267 per ticket.
No way, dude.
I just started laughing. I was like, yeah, no, they're not flying first class for 45 minutes to Miami for $2,500. I was like, what else you got?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, cargo will work. They can go under the plane.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, the 9 p.m. flight. There's 2 seats in economy. It'll be $580 something.
Per ticket?
No, for the 2.
Okay.
So we're like $900 in at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realize we can't even drive them back. I have to pay $50 to Uber them down because Sophia has a basketball game that night. So I'm like, we're a cool grand because this motherfucker said he can fix his own problems because he's an adult. And
was he embarrassed? Were you like being an asshole the whole time? Like, what was the vibe?
I didn't speak, which was probably pretty scary.
Right. He knew he messed up.
He knew he messed up, but I was also trying not to scream and act like an asshole. Dave was actually extremely pleasant, did very well. I congratulated him when we got home at how well he did. I got very quiet and very angry because I had said I'll book his ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told by both Dave and Matthias that he's a grown-ass man. And so
it's probably important for him to prove, though. He probably felt like shit. Poor guy. I feel bad for Matthias because that's some stuff I would have done trying to do the right thing and would have ended up messing it up.
Listen, I put it out on Facebook and I just said, please, parents of quote unquote adults, tell me the shit that your adult has done so that I can feel better about this. 9,000 comments later.
Really?
The majority of them were like, my kid did this, my kid did this, my kid did this. Now there were plenty of, you're an asshole parent, fuck you, you piece of shit. You did this to your kid. You've made your kid incompetent, like all of that. But the majority of them were overwhelmingly, my idiot did this, right? Because here's what I realized in that moment. You think it's hard to teach them to walk. You think it's hard to teach them to talk. You think it's hard to teach them to tie their shoes. You think it's hard to get them through elementary school projects. You think it's hard to get them through middle school. And then you realize when you get into this seat of the car, which eventually becomes the back seat, teaching an adult how to adult is the most excruciatingly painful part of parenting because they are quote unquote an adult. And the resistance is just, there's so much resistance because they can do it and they know it and this and that. And you're just like, you don't know. Bitch, I don't know. Like, I'm trying.
That's what I was going to say. How do you teach an adult to be an adult if you don't know what you're doing? Like,
it's very difficult.
How can you stand on 10 toes and be like, this is the right way when you're like not sure?
I think it's just one of those things where you start to, it really has to be more about like, I have to shift my perspective of this is how you do it to my advice would be. Because that's where my problem lies. Right? Like I'm like, do this instead of, well, I would do XYZ because I think this makes the most sense, but you do what you want. That is so fucking difficult.
I'm sorry. That must be tough.
So that's what I realized, that I'm in this new phase really of trying to teach an adult how to adult, and I don't know how to do that.
I feel like you have a pretty good grip on it, though. I really do. Like comparatively, like let's just take you and I, for example. We've got 15 years between us, but when it comes to being an adult, you've learned so much in that extra 15 years that you've had that you know what you're doing, and I am still like a young teenager.
No.
Meredith, there's not 15 years between us. You didn't even get the joke. And then I kept waiting for you to get it, and you
No, I
didn't get
got
it.
I was just going to let you have it.
You didn't laugh.
Well, because it wasn't funny. I'm only 5 years older than you, but I
It was
like, well,
hilarious
all right, sorry. It was so funny.
because then you would have laughed and been like, fuck you. And I would have been like, just kidding. But seriously, and then gone into my speech, which I was prepared for, but you
Oh,
didn't
sorry.
do your
I'm
part
so
of it.
sorry. Dave just stopped and he said, I need you to, are you okay? Because did you just realize Tiffany is funnier than you? Because we all knew it. That's what he just said to me.
Did he?
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Thank you, Dave. You saved it.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's
But no, what I'm trying to say is my kids are fucked.
no.
No, they are. My kid would be like, Mom, we'd get to the airport and he'd be like, I booked the wrong ticket. I'd be like, fuck, we need to call Meredith, dude. Because I do not know what to do now. Oh my God. Do we have to talk to these people? Like, I would be panicked. I'd be like, you just live here now. There's nothing we can do. You have to fly out the 18th, my guy.
What was the movie? What was the movie with Tom Hanks where he lives in the airport?
Not Castaway. I think
No,
it's
not
just called Airport.
Was it called Airport?
I want to say that.
You know what I'm
Terminal?
talking about, though, right? Terminal. That was it, right? And it's like,
Maybe.
you just live here now. And it's
Yeah.
like, cool. Tom Hanks did it. I can do it too.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm nervous about all of it. That's why I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to just encourage my kids. I'm going to be like, you guys really, really have to pay attention in school. And you really got to learn how to do this shit, because I'm not going to be the one to teach you. I'm going to, let's call it what it is. I'm just your hot mom who like makes cookies for your friends. But as far as life skills, I got nothing, dude. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So it was interesting because it was not the visit that I anticipated getting with him. And then it was obviously not the end of the visit that I anticipated. And it was, by the end of that night, I think I was just so spent.
Mm-hmm. I'm proud of you for not snapping, though.
Did I snap? I didn't snap, right? I got very quiet and I slammed a car door, but there wasn't any yelling. Yeah. There wasn't any yelling. But it was.
No, I don't think there's yet. I know I've seen every version of you. I've seen the quiet anger, the simmering anger, the out loud anger, the you fucked up and you're going to make it right anger. Like, I've seen it all. And I'm just glad that he got the quiet, reserved, oh shit, she's mad but doesn't have to say it. Because that's the scariest one.
It was scary. I think the girlfriend shit herself in the back seat because
That's
I probably
so funny.
scared her like
That's
terribly.
so awkward.
And so at one point I did turn around and I said to her, I was like, I need you to understand that you've done nothing wrong in this situation.
That's
I
nice.
am super frustrated with Matthias because he was given explicit instructions on booking the ticket. And so I was like, I'm trying to figure out the words that I want to use when I have this conversation with him. So I did let her know.
Was he around when you said that?
They were both in the back seat. And I was like, I just need you to know this isn't about you. You've done nothing wrong.
But you, motherfucker.
But I was like, but him, he did some shit. And we're going to have to figure this out now. Yeah. So,
but he made it. That's great.
They got there. He's had a really great first week back. He
never coming
yesterday.
back.
Well, and that was the whole thing. Dave was like, we have to be really careful with these situations because we want him to come back.
Yeah.
So we can't lose our shit. And I was like, I know you're right. But it was like, I was on the verge, man. I thought the eyeball was going to pop.
I get it.
So, but yeah, he got back to school. He said his classes have been good. He had a couple of good practices. He settled back in.
My kid, like, the idea of my kids having to book their own ticket one day, dude. The other day, Chloe and I was like, I'm going to make you guys some eggs. Chloe's like, can I make them? And I was like, yeah. Like, great. I didn't even know you knew how to make eggs, dude. This is awesome. And so she's making the eggs and stuff. I'm like, who taught you this? She's like, Gammy. I'm like, this is, you know what? This is good. If I die, at least she'll be able to make eggs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was the thought that I had, was at least she'll be able to make eggs. I felt really good about the fact that she knew how to make eggs. And then I was like, oh my God, there's so much I should be teaching her that I'm not, that I just do myself because it's easier and it's quicker. And like, she's going to need to know how to do more than cook eggs. But if that's all she can do, like, I'm feeling pretty confident.
Protein.
Yeah. Like, what else can you do? So when they come back to me this next week, I have to start making them do chores, and I'm terrified.
Yeah. I I have been trying to be better about that with the kids with those things, because you know me, like I'll just be like, I'll do it because you're gonna fuck it up
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to like dishes and cleaning and stuff like that. And Dave has been really intervening when I start to just clean up after dinner or whatever. He's like, nope, it's Brian's tonight. Nope, it's Sophia's tonight. And it is painful for me to step away because I'm like, they're not going to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10 they don't do it the way that I like. The counters don't get cleaned, or they didn't put away everything, or but I'm learning that even when that happens, and like today I wake up and there's dishes in the sink, the sky didn't fall. 60% of it got done.
Mm-hmm.
Not done to my standard whatsoever, but I don't think my standard is reasonable either.
Right.
So I think that it's the same thing that I'm struggling with, the same thing you're struggling with, is my point.
I don't know. I feel like you did a great job with your kids. And
Well,
I think about that all the time. You did such a great job with them. They're so, they know, like, they're going to be fine.
well, I appreciate that. I think we both have taught our kids different things. We always have
I taught my kids how to hot wire a car.
I'm just saying, I think we both have, we could, there are things each of us could teach our kids to be a little more well-rounded. Like there's always room for improvement. We each always have room to improve. I think that's just every parent
Mm-hmm.
on the planet, right? Because none of us are doing a bang up job all the time.
Mm-mm. No.
But I think it's a tough job. It's just this. It feels like a new level of parenting has been unlocked, and I don't like it.
Ooh, Jumanji.
I don't like it.
That's wild.
So,
I just a little mental health update for those of
Great.
you following my journey. I don't know if I talked about, did I talk about being off my meds?
Not yet. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't know if you wanted to talk about
How
it.
did you know?
Because we texted.
Oh, we
Do
didn't
you
talk about it.
remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I talked about it a little bit somewhere. No, I haven't talked about it really. I did a little bit on, okay, fuck it. Sorry. I'm going in circles. I got my CD started skipping in the same spot and I couldn't move on.
Blow the dust off.
We couldn't even record the Tiff and Flip show this week because I was off my medicine. So basically, over the little break or whatever with the New Year's and everything, my prescription ran out and I couldn't get it refilled because there was nobody in the office. So there's a good 6 days where I was struggling for one reason or another to get on back on my one medication. Long story short, I was off all my medications for about 3 days. And I started feeling really not well mentally, and not in a depressed way. It was kind of scary because I was so unbothered. Like, I was doing, I had crazy thoughts. I was like picking fights with loved ones. I was looking towards toxic situations for some source of comfort. Like, I needed chaos, I needed destruction, I needed to feel something. And I instantly reverted back to that addict brain. And I'm like, what could I do that like I almost made some really poor choices, not drugs, but like other things
Mhm.
that would have destroyed my life, but would have made me feel something in the interim. You know what I mean? Just stupid stuff. So, anyways, I did the right thing and I was really honest with everybody around me. I told my friends what was going on. I was completely transparent with my boyfriend and was like, listen, I am trying to find reasons why this won't work out because I need something crazy to go on in order to feel normal because I'm so used to chaos.
Mhm.
And right now I can't feel anything. And so finally I got my meds and everything's okay. I didn't do anything fucking crazy. Yeah.
Yay!
I'm so proud of myself, dude. No tattoos. I didn't
Mhm.
paint a single wall in my house.
Oh,
I didn't call a single ex. I didn't do anything. And I'm really proud of myself
that's
because I was out of it for a while there.
that is amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
That is I'm a little disappointed you didn't paint anything.
I did. I wish I could bring the camera with me. I busted out my painting supplies
Okay, so you
and I
did.
started painting pictures and
Thank you.
coloring in adult coloring books. And I was like,
Okay.
I'm on the decline. This is not good. Something I'm
No,
coloring.
that was great that you did that.
Yeah, I went and set up a little coloring station because I was quitting vaping too at the time, mind you.
Jeez.
So I was like, and I was talking to Flip. He was going to come over and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm finally on my way to get my medication, dude. He's like, holy shit, it's been a long time. I'm like, I know. He's like, are you sure you're good to record? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm good to record. He's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I be good? And he's like, the last time you couldn't get your meds filled and we recorded, things didn't go well for you in the weeks following because I ended up making a fool of myself and going into a depression hole because
Oh
the internet
yeah.
hated me.
So
Yeah.
you just made the adult decision to not record.
Honestly, mostly it was Flip's urging.
Well,
I
that's
would have
good.
done it. I would have done it and would have probably ended up regretting it.
Mhm.
So I
No,
feel
that's
bad
good.
for our supporters because they're not getting an episode this week. But it was one of those things I had to go on there and I'm like, listen, I wanted to lie and just be like, sorry, we have technical issues. But I was like, hey, everybody, I'm off my meds. We'll try again next week. I love you. Bye.
But that's why everybody loves you.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, because you're just being honest. You're like, hey, been been a solid 6 days,
Yeah.
and this is off the rocker right now.
It was all my medicines. It was my mood stabilizer.
Mhm.
Hello. My
Hello.
antidepressant, anti anxiety, and my inattentive ADHD medicine, which I don't really care that much about that one because I don't even take it all the time. It's the other ones that I've been on for almost 10 years that I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and that's too long to go. So may I just give one piece of advice?
I love it.
Okay.
No. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Could you maybe take a look at when your prescriptions expire
Okay.
on the bottle and maybe just set a calendar reminder
Yes.
and
That's
just
a
be
great
like,
idea.
"Hey, call your doctor's office to get these refilled because there could be a potential holiday or something." Because like I don't know how many months you get
Neither do I. Why don't they automatically refill? I don't understand why they
because
don't
they
automatically refill if
could
I'm
be
paying
their
for these
office
appointments.
policy that you have to be seen or you have to whatever, and you don't want to be in a situation again where you
No,
don't
this
have it.
happens way too every single month. I'm like, oh man, it's not going to be ready till Wednesday. I just ran out yesterday. And it's like I could call ahead of time, but I didn't think they were allowed to fill them ahead of time. They're like, you don't have any refills until whatever date. So I always thought you had to like time it perfectly between the time you run out to the time you get it refilled because they won't refill it if it's too soon. So I
You know,
got
you can
confused.
auto refill too at a pharmacy if they have the doctor's prescription orders. So what I'm saying is if you would like me to help you with that, that's
Yeah.
something that I could help you with, because like there are like when you have a recurring prescription, you can get it almost on like a subscription where they'll say we will refill this on this day every month for the next 3 months because you have it.
I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
No, it doesn't. But I would
Yeah.
love any and all help I could
Yeah.
get
Yeah. So it's
in general.
I'm just saying for refill purposes that would
Mhm.
be a thing that that worries me, because we have been on the road too where you didn't have any more and needed,
Mhm.
and we were like, oh my god, I don't know what happened, and I'm like, I think I know what happened.
Exactly. It happens so often. You think my dumbass would do something to prevent it from happening, but I'm a glutton for punishment.
Well, I think that's just, you're wired that way, and so it's not something that's going to happen overnight, and you need to put practice into it to make that change. It's just like me learning how to be flexible.
Mm.
It's not like that comes easy.
I was gonna take it somewhere weird, but I
Okay.
didn't. Remember that time I put my foot behind my head and it
Yeah.
you
do.
called me a witch.
I do.
It made me laugh so hard.
Well, not only am I inflexible just like as a human being, but I'm inflexible emotionally. I'm inflexible in a lot of different ways. My whole body is just a completely tight sphincter. So
Ew.
I laugh when I did laugh. I looked at you and I thought you were a witch when you put your leg back there, because I was like, it doesn't belong there.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
That's wrong. Don't do that. And you were like, no, the guy's and I'm like, no.
No, I never said that. I never said that. Hey, we're on tour, everybody.
Yeah, we and tickets are selling fast in Florida.
Yeah, that's because I've been posting.
Good job, BT Dubs. You created
Oh no,
some wrong dates.
Shit.
So I need some.
You're lying.
I need some new images because you added a show that doesn't exist.
What fucking show doesn't exist, dude? What do you mean? If it was on the website, I put it on there.
It wasn't on the website. I'm not sure where you got it.
You're telling me I just made up a town and a time and a date that we're going to be there out of nowhere?
Yeah, Lexington, Kentucky doesn't exist. We're going to be in Louisville on February 22nd, but you have us in Lexington on February 22nd and Louisville February 23rd, which is not correct.
This is bullshit because there was a version that I saw. It must have been there.
Maybe. I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm just saying I do need some graphics. Did you see the text I sent you with the picture?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I see you replied, yes, I can try. I'd love to get your face there.
I'll try.
I think it would be epically hilarious, and I think we could make a good.
Okay, I'll try really hard.
But yeah, so send a picture of you smiling to Dave. He said he'll do it.
No.
No, why? I'll do it. Huh?
I'll do it.
She's gonna do it. She said.
Tell him I'm a control freak and that I have issues.
She said she'll do it. She doesn't want you doing it. Don't touch.
I didn't.
Stuff.
That's not what the fuck.
She's gonna Photoshop her face.
Tell him I didn't say that.
She said she doesn't like your work. It's very shoddy.
I never fucking said that. I went to watch Wicked.
Oh yeah, how was Wicked?
It was a musical.
I know. Did you not know that before you went?
I knew. I'm just saying. It was good. It was good. It was good. It was good. Kids loved it. Kids loved it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I really can't. It wasn't even 2 minutes in and they started singing and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to survive this, dude. No offense, everybody. No offense. I had an ex-boyfriend who really loved musicals and I pretended to be into it. I can't pretend anymore. I'm not a musical person. If someone's like, Robert, why'd you look at me like that? Because, Cheryl, there was a day that I saw you. And I'm like, no, we can't. Nobody talks like this, dude. Nobody does that. I can't get into a movie where suddenly everybody in the grocery aisle at Publix starts doing a synchronized dance. You guys we don't do that. It's not a thing. It's not a flash mob. This would never happen. And then they just get back to their normal life. It really upsets me.
Mm.
And maybe it's because I was on a diet when I was at the movies, so I didn't get any candy or popcorn or anything. And then I relapsed on food that night anyway. So it was like a wasted trip because I could have been having candy. Either way, it was fine. It was good. Given that it was a musical, it was good. The actress who plays I don't know her name, the green one. She was really good. And I liked her a lot. She was probably my favorite character. She's a beautiful goddess.
Mm.
I don't know. You can't really put it into words. Her performance in that role, I can't really put it into words. It was good. It was good. Ariana Grande was entertaining.
Can I have the screen back? It's okay.
She reminded me of myself a lot. She likes to throw tantrums when things don't go her way and throw little hissy fits when she has to do things. It reminded me of myself. At one point, she like tossed herself on the bed, and I was like, "Oh, that's me, dude."
Yeah, I do think that. What's going on?
Are we just having a casual
Yeah.
combo right here in the
I'm
middle of a podcast, gentlemen?
podcast. There's milk in the fridge.
Are they fighting over milk?
What?
They put empty containers back everywhere. This one wasn't even where it belonged.
Okay. Can you? There's milk. Okay.
Ew, don't say milk, Meredith, for crying out
Oh my
loud.
gosh.
We
Can you
almost made
please-
it through the episode without you making it gross.
Can you please? I was about to say, I understand you with the whole musical thing. I have a visceral reaction anytime somebody does an interpretive dance.
What?
Visceral. I have to get up and leave. I can't watch it. I can't handle it.
Wait, how often are you places where people into interpretive dances?
Okay, it's not just interpretive dance, but anything like one time we were at a play at the kids' school, and this kid started doing this like dance thing, and I was like, I have to leave right now. I have to leave. I can't watch this. This is so bad. I was like, I can't watch this. I can't watch this, because then I start to feel bad for the person who's doing it. Because I'm like, everybody's watching you do this. And then I just get like this, like,
no, that's a real phobia, is other people being embarrassed, like doing embarrassing things. Flip has that too.
I can't handle it. It drives me batshit crazy. And like every time, like literally every time I see somebody do, like when everybody was going crazy over that, was she Australian, the break dancer?
Mm-hmm.
I watched it and my body was like heaving. I was like, "Ugh, this is so bad." Like it made me ill to watch her do this breakdancing. And then all the backlash that happened, I was like, this is why I can't handle this. I can't handle this. I can't handle this. It made me like feel sick to my stomach.
That's sad.
And she was just like, I
didn't see it.
You didn't
feel
see her
bad for her.
breakdancing?
I feel bad for her. I thought it was fake. I thought it was a thing based on that woman. You know, that woman who teaches you how to hip hop dance? She has short hair. She's like middle-aged. It's an old clip. And she's like, first you gotta. But anyway, I thought it was a parody of that. I didn't realize it was real.
No, it was real. And then they canceled breakdancing like forever because of this woman.
That's really sad. I
Like
mean,
there's no Olympic breakdancing anymore.
well, why was there?
I don't know. But the whole
When
thing,
was there? I don't mean why. I mean, when did Olympic breakdancing become a thing?
This
Because I've
year.
never heard of it.
literally, it was the first time ever.
That's why I don't think it can be real. It doesn't feel real to me. You think they introduce breakdancing, this woman comes out, apparently does it wrong. First year ever, does it wrong. And they're like, never mind. You know what? Wait, tear it down. We shouldn't have done this, you guys. Forget it. Forget it. You guys
This
fucked that
is
up.
why we said no in that meeting.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me.
The whole thing was just, and there was some really great breakdancing. Like I watched some of the other contestants and I was like, oh, that definitely looks like breakdancing. And then you watched this woman and I was like, what happened to her?
I think she did great, probably. I didn't see it, but I'm sure she did better than I could. Meredith,
It was weird.
I don't
man.
get it. Don't you have coaches and stuff when you go to the Olympics?
I listen. She had a PhD in dancing or something. They're saying in the yeah, it was very odd, the whole thing. But like, I was just trying to say, I get where you're coming from with musicals. Like, I can sit through a musical. It's not my jam, but it doesn't like make me feel like how when I see somebody interpretive dance. When if you start to do an interpretive dance, I'm out. Like, I will get up and leave. I will walk away.
My ex-boyfriend was really into musicals, and I really wanted to also be into musicals with him. What happened?
Nothing. Dave's, I guess, leaving.
You seem so downtrodden.
He keeps leaving, and I'm like, where are you going? And he's like, work, and I'm like, stop doing that.
That's sad. He's your person, and when
he
he's
leaves
gone,
now all the time, and it's very upsetting to me.
who is she?
Tiffany wants to know who your girlfriend is that you're going to see. Oh, you don't have time for a girlfriend? Oh,
Boyfriend?
boyfriend.
Just kidding. Don't say that. Anyways,
he's
who
gotta
cares?
Go do linen deliveries. Stupid. Anyway, yeah. So that was my thing. I was just saying, like, I feel you on that. Like, I hate interpretive dance so much. Oh, you know what else gets me? That ribbon twirling.
Why?
Why stop fucking twirling a ribbon?
Ribbon dancer riding on the wall.
Oh,
Did you ever have one when you were little?
No.
Dancing to the beat. Come on and do. I just bought some, Meredith. I have some right now.
Okay.
If this was a videotape podcast, I would go get them and I would fucking ribbon dance all over this office.
And then when they do like the hula hoops and the balls and they are throwing everything around, like rhythmic gymnastics.
Yeah, what's your
Stop it.
beef, dude?
Stop it.
I like it.
I can't stop. The little girl from the Sia video? Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
You don't like that.
No.
Oh, that's a good example.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Watch Elastic Heart. I want you to film the reaction to your face watching Elastic Heart music video. Shia LaBeouf's in it.
Oh. It's got to be bad. It's going to make my skin crawl.
It really will. I would love to see your reaction. Anyway, all right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we've been here too long today.
Yeah, we're just rambling at this point because we're bored. I'm not bored. I have a very small group of friends, and this is like the one conversation that I look forward to each week is just shooting the shit with you.
All right. So listen, we're going to be in Jacksonville, Florida on January 28th, Orlando, Florida, January 30th, Wesley Chapel, aka Tampa, January 31st, Naples, Florida, February 1st, Miami, February 2nd, St. Louis, Missouri, February 18th, Fort Wayne, Indiana, February 19th. Tiffany, you're going to need to bring 2 jackets. Indianapolis, February 20th, Cincinnati, Ohio, February 21st, and Louisville, Kentucky, February 22nd. So head over to www.podcasttakeititorleaveit.com and grab tickets today. We will also be literally everywhere through 2025. We have dates through March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October already posted on the website and more dates coming.
Nice. Clip that. That was a great ad.
All right, guys. So we will see you next time on another episode of Take It
or Leave It, an advice-ish podcast hosted by 2 struggling moms
who have no idea what we're
doing.
We'll see you guys next week.
Love you so much. Bye. Ow. Excuse me. I have walking pneumonia.
Oh, my God.